Our next team to pitch is Team Hyperlokal Kapital with members Angelo Badaga, Amina Shane Halil, Renz Hillary Rayman, John Nicole Alvarez, and Monsini Hinay. All right, so please project your presentation now and let's wait for the timer to start.
All right. Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Buenas tardes. Greetings from Zamboanga City. I hope you are seeing my screen.
Yes, you can see
Yes,
it.
we are. Ed
All
Fe,
right.
there you are. Okay, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Once again, good afternoon. Formal financial institutions are not always able to meet the needs of many Filipinos, particularly those living in remote and marginalized communities and sectors. Nonetheless, everyone needs access to small amounts of savings and loans to help improve incomes, make timely investments, and cope with emergencies. Today, many Pinoy still lack easy access and usage to existing formal financial facilities, financial literacy information, and are afraid of taking risks in dealing with financial institutions due to lack of better understanding of bank investment policies. According to the 2019 BSP Financial Inclusion Survey, 51.2 million Filipinos still remain unbanked. The survey further revealed that 68% of Filipinos who save opt to keep their savings at home, and 54% who have outstanding loans borrow from informal sources. This is the reality of Mrs. Gemma Bahani, 53, a mother of 11 from the rural barangay of Tulungatong in Zamboanga City. While she is able to save money from her meager income, she doesn't have access to formal financial institutions and depends largely on informal lenders for her capital. She, in fact, is not alone. Her fellow community members share the same situation. The same can be said to many women and communities across the country. Now, our question is that how might we provide local solutions to the challenges of the likes of Mrs. Gemma by empowering her and her fellow community members to address the problem head on? Our solution is the Hyperlokal Capital Community Savings Club, or CSC model. The CSC is a first step to financial inclusions as it provides a mechanism to save money while building financial knowledge and skills. It is a community-based, self-managed, independent group that mobilizes and manages its own savings through purchasing of shares and taking small loans from those savings. The activities run in cycles of 1 year, after which the accumulated savings and the loan profits are distributed back to the members in proportion to their savings. It has well-defined policies and operates in transparent and democratic ways. This leads to a secure system that encourages responsible use of savings, borrowings, and social insurance services. Our CSC platform is a platform for hyperlocal capital access for members to, number one, make short-term investments in entrepreneurial and income-generating activities. Number two, facilitate personal finance and household cash flow management and provide access to cash. And number three, cushion the shocks due to vulnerable livelihoods and personal emergencies through social funds and microinsurance, just like Cebuana's Protect Max. Our focus is on women, just like Mrs. Gemma, who is now a member of a CSC. In fact, over our 8-month implementation of this model to our assisted women group in Zamboanga, we were able to double membership from 9 to 19. To date, the CSC was able to generate a total savings of over 143,000, loan profits of 48,000, and a social fund contribution of 9,000 pesos. The CSC supports people who don't have access to financial services to save money and learn key financial skills. It is easy to establish, require very little infrastructure, and is highly replicable. For these reasons, we have found it to be an effective strategy for building the habit of saving and paying of obligations, even in the remotest locations and among the unbanked and the poor. We will journey together with the new CSCs that we're going to create as a shareholder member and will save money by purchasing shares. This will allow us to provide direct oversight and grow our savings, investment, the returns of which we will use to replicate more CSCs starting in Zamboanga City and expanding to key areas through our partners and collaborators. If we win this challenge, the prize money is going to be used to establish 10 target CSCs, 150 members, with a large chunk of savings used for savings. Our goal is to help build the capacity of marginalized communities and sectors in financial literacy and facilitate the creation of hyperlocal capital network of community savings club across the country. Our team is a collaborative undertaking of Golden Age of Life Society and Kids Who Farm. Throughout this journey, we realized that we don't need to go far. The solution to the financial innovation challenge is indeed hyper local. Thank you.
Okay, judges. Okay, Sir Jonathan, your question, please.
Thank you very much. How does this differ with the concept of a community savings and loans associations like cooperatives? And do you need also something like a BSP approval on this?
This is more or less a community savings group model, or CSGs, and informal groups within a community. And it doesn't have regulations under BSP.
All right. So how do you now regulate yourselves so much so that there's an integrity of purpose, so to speak?
Well, as a proven method or as a proven technology already, CSGs are governed by policies developed by its members, and it's
Mhm.
including policies on loans, on savings, on social contribution, and even on microinsurance. So it's a transparent and democratic group of self-selected members among the community to empower themselves to create their own savings mechanism.
So when you say self-selected, the basis of which should be the amount of money deposited, how do you choose the leaders of the CSCs
When you
or
say
managers?
when you say self-selected, each of the members of the group know very well their fellow members. There's a
Mhm.
process of getting to know each other, and
Mhm.
the savings is mainly through the purchasing of shares. So the more you buy
How-
shares, the more you invest in the
So
savings
how
fund.
will you now police your ranks and ensure that, as you mentioned earlier, there's transparency and safeguard the CSCs from malversation and what we may call in the private enterprises as DOSRI, non-utilization. Yeah.
Well, the good thing about CSCs is that all transactions are being done in front of the members, and there's actually 2 meetings in a month, and there's a there's a process during that meeting, and there's a box where they keep all the documents, and all the money are out. No, it's being lent to the members, and there's a in the policy also is the policy on paying on penalties and everything. So it's basically governed in that way. And there's a social peer pressure mechanism to encourage everyone to really contribute meaningfully to the savings and help each other.
Yep. Last question. What are the challenges that you're encountering in generating traction for this?
Well, I think the benefits first. No, the people realize that when they're creating CSCs, they're actually partaking not just the savings but the profits of the savings themselves. So partida sila kasama doon. But the
Mhm.
challenge now is that our biggest challenge is that how to expand this one in the remotest locations. So
Mhm.
that entails logistics and transport to create
How
the
are you
CSCs.
addressing the challenge now?
So we created this called Apex CSCs. So our main CSCs in one location are the ones training the other CSCs in the nearby Poroks and the nearby locations.
All right. Thank you very much.
Judges, any more questions? We have almost 2 minutes left. All right. I think everything's all clear now. Oh, there, sir. Yes, Sir Eric.
So I'm not too familiar with this model. So your organization gets a cut on the funds that are generated within this CSV. Is that correct? Is that how it works?
We invest, we participate in the journey of the community members in the CSC. So our team, Hyperlokal Capital, is a
Yeah.
contributing member of the CSC.
And the profits, you share it also together with what you
Yes,
invest.
yes, sir.
Is that
We
correct?
don't loan, we just invest. At the end of the cycle, we get our share.
Okay. Thanks.
Great. Any more questions? Okay. So I think that's it for Hyperlokal Capital. Thank you so much.
With Angelo Banaga, Amina Shane Halil, Renz Raymond, John Alvarez, and Mancini Hinay. Congratulations